We are builders. We are crafters. We are fighters. We are Bear Hill Shire.
This is Chris LaPine, Sir Angus McBarrow. We're doing the Duke's Secret Recipes. This is stuffed peppers. Today we're doing 4 stuffed peppers. We got the green ones. You can use the bell peppers if you want. I find that the green ones taste better, but that's just me. You can also make this without the peppers if you don't like them. I know my brother can't stand green peppers, so just make this as like a casserole to serve over like chips or just by itself. Works pretty good. You can probably put it on noodles, but personally I love stuffing the peppers. So what we're going to use today is kosher salt, mild cheddar cheese, a can of diced tomatoes, 1 pound of thawed ground beef, about half an onion, 4 peppers, Worcester Shire sauce. We need a baking dish about that size, give or take. Because you're going to have a lot of leftover meat and stuff in there besides the peppers. This one I love because it's got a cover on it. If you notice it's wet, it's because I want a little bit of water in there that does tend to help steam the vegetables while they're cooking. What I'm going to start off with is the peppers and some alcohol. Because, you know, it's the Duke's secret recipe. And the Duke must be pickled to cook this. So we're going to start with the pepper, and all I'm going to do is cut these lids out, and these have been washed already. So I'm just going to cut the lid right around the stem. And all I'm using is a serrated knife. I'm going to peel the stem out, and if you can see there's still stuff in the inside. So I'm just going to kind of dig that out. I really do want to keep this lip here. So this lip right here, I want to keep that. If I cut it too wide out, the peppers tend to split and open up. Whereas if you keep that lip on there, they'll stay together and they'll keep the food inside pretty good. Once I've got the guts out of it, I'm going to shake some of the seeds out. I'm going to give it a rinse with cold water just to get anything else that's out of there. I'm going to take my salt. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit in there. And that's going to help flavor the inside of the pepper. Pepper goes in the dish and proceed on with the other peppers. So sometimes when you're doing the peppers, that little stem likes to get shoved up in there. And you got to peel it out like that, which is fun. Make sure you're not jabbing the pepper. These things cut pretty easy. You don't want to have a nice visit to urgent care. It's kind of, some people will spoon this out. I don't know how they do that, but getting all the pepper guts out is half the fun of stuffed peppers. Okay, I also have a big frying pan here to cook everything in. So the meat, the cheese, the tomatoes are all going to get cooked in that. And then I'm going to take it out of there, transfer it into this dish, and then stuff the peppers with it, i.e. the name stuffed peppers. Take our onion, sharp knife, person that doesn't like onions, and combine the two, and you have a crying 47-year-old man. I love the taste of them. I just hate chopping them. Red onions, in my experience, are the worst on the old tear gas effect. But these suck too, definitely. Whew. All right. So now that we've got our peppers prepped and we've got the onion chopped, we're going to brown the roast beef, or brown the ground beef. Once we've got this brown with the onions, we're going to brown them at the same time. We're going to do salt, pinch of pepper, tomatoes, and rice, which, depending on the rice, you're either going to want to pre-cook or cook with the sous vide. Instant rice, I found you can cook with the dish. Long grain rice, regular rice, you probably want to cook that separate and then put it in, otherwise you end up crunching on it. So what we're going to do now is we're over at the stove. We got the oven at 425. This is going to bake at 425 for about 30 minutes. We're going to take the meat, we're going to brown it up on the pan here. We're going to put our meat right in there. We're going to dump the onions in there right away. And we're going to lid that up. I got it on high right now just to get everything going. And again, the handy dandy grease cup. You don't want to be pouring grease down your sink. Just freeze that and throw it away later. Okay, I got the meat going here pretty good. Just going to give it a stir and make sure I'm getting that meat all separated like you normally would brown beef. The beef itself is going to have a lot of oil in it, or fat, which will help sweat the mushrooms or the onions. Forgot my vegetables today. Once I get this mixture browned up pretty good, I'm going to be adding in the can of tomatoes, 4 ounces of shredded cheese, which for me is a good handful, give or take. Worcester Shire, about 1 tablespoon of this stuff, or 1 teaspoon, I'm sorry. So 1 teaspoon of this Worcester Shire. Again, a little bit more pepper at that point, and then I'm going to be putting in my rice, which I've got cupped up here at about a half a cup. So that's a half a cup of the instant rice. Go with long grain regular rice. You want to cook it first, then add it. Otherwise, you end up chewing on it. Crunchy. Now you will be cooking the meat and the peppers for about 45 minutes in the oven. So if you don't have the meat completely cooked, that's fine. It's going to cook in the oven anyway. It's like a casserole, just a little bit more on the raw side going in, and it should come out fully baked. The goal with this is to get the peppers to soften. If the lid won't fit over the peppers, and you can see there it won't, I'm going to tin foil this because I do want to keep a good mini oven going on in here where I'm just wrapping this up. So once I get ready to stuff these, I'm going to tin foil them and shove them in the oven right away. Tablespoon is probably your best friend for stuffing those. I like the bigger spoons to do it with. Shovel and go, and then the rest of it just goes around the peppers. Okay, so the meat's nice and brown now. So I'm going to go ahead and drain that. In goes our tomatoes. I'm going to put the Worcestershire right in the tomato can. Again, just a teaspoon. This stuff is strong. And you will taste every little bit extra you put in there. I'm going to put a little bit of water in the tomato with the Worcestershire. Give it a good and get all that tomatoey goodness out of the can. Got to have something to boil the rice in. Probably do a little bit more water in there to get this rice actually combined. So now I'm just going to stir in the rice into the tomatoes and the meat. And there's a lot of liquid in there, which that rice will just pick right up. So I don't really have to add a ton of water here. I'm going to look at about 4 or 5 minutes and see if I need to. Again, a little bit more salt, not much. A little bit more pepper. Stuffed peppers have a tendency to be really bland, and I've noticed that. So we're gonna keep this on a pretty good high heat for a few minutes here, about medium high. I wanna make sure that the tomatoes definitely soften up a little bit and the rice starts to cook into the tomato juice. And that's really gonna add to the whole flavor. Okay, it's been about 4 or 5 minutes, give or take. The rice is starting to puff up, and you can see it here. There's still plenty of liquid on the bottom. Don't really need to add any. Watery stuffed peppers really sucks. I would highly not recommend that. So go easy on the water and just add it as you need to. Okay, with the cheese, I like to be liberal with the cheese. I'm a conservative with eggs, but I'm a liberal with cheese. Now you know my politics. So I'm going to give it a good dose in there, let that melt. A minute or two. Just going to go ahead and stir all that up. Okay, this is where it's getting a little dry. So in this case, I want to add a little bit more water. I really don't want a casserole here. Somewhere in between. Not much. Just to get a little bit of juice going on the bottom. And that's what I want to see. Just like that. Okay, so now that I'm done, I'm going to shut the heat off. This is still going to sit here and continue to cook in the pan. I'm going to take my big spoon and I'm going to start stuffing these peppers. And I'm going to do it over the pan, not over that. Scoop, shove, burn ward, repeat. Just pack all that meaty, unhealthy goodness in there. Cheese and tomatoes and rice. And tastes like the bomb. So once I got that packed in there, shove it in here, and gonna go ahead and keep packing. Okay, so that's packed. And you can see I'm using a lot of this stuff in here. That's a whole pound of ground beef. And really, this is one meal by itself when you cut it apart. And as you can see here, I'm just kind of placing them in the pan. They should stand up on their own. Pretty much. If not, it's not the end of the world. This one is being stubborn, so I'm just going to pack it down with the end of a wooden spoon here. So I really want to fill in that whole pepper. Okay. That one's about as stuffed as I can get it. A regular serving spoon here, and I'm just going to scrape out the bottom. I'm just going to kind of glitter it around the sides of the pan. Oven's stovetop is off. We're just going to go ahead and cover these peppers up. Doesn't have to be 100% sealed. You want a little bit of steam to come out. That's fine. I am going to add in another tablespoon of water in the pan just to help steam it. And I'm doing it away from where I put the spread. So all the spreads on this side, I'm gonna put the water on this side just to give it a little bit of extra steam go. I'm gonna middle rack this. And again, this is gonna go for about 30 minutes. And we'll just set a timer. I'll come back to this in a minute. So this is after about 10, 12 minutes of 475, and you can see it kind of browned up really nice here on the sides. That's pretty much it. You're just gonna be really careful here that you're dealing with this dish in a safe way. All you do is you drop the pepper on there, take some of the side scoopings, cuts like butter, which is what you want, and all that pepper right inside. And this will give you a full plate. Now, since this is about almost 500 degrees, I'm not going to stick it in my mouth right this second to tell you how it tastes, but from experience, I know it tastes good. I just really don't want to do a fun word tonight.
Where's the fun in that?
You know, I would agree with you in my younger days, but since then I've learned not to go to the board war if I can avoid it. And I like my peppers nice and chunky there. And this is an awesome dish for a cold day. If you're into peppers, awesome. Again, if you're not into the green pepper taste, you can always try the bell peppers or the red peppers. Definitely worth your time. Basically, it's a heat it and forget it. You can also do these in a crock pot. I found a couple recipes on that. Definitely worth looking into. All right. Thanks for watching. That's my recipe on bell peppers. If you got any questions, just hit me up.
This has been a production of Bear Hill Films.
Getting shorted on a pepper is like wishing for a racetrack and you get socks for Christmas, you know? The lid is really fucking hot. Excuse me. Get out of my kitchen! Cats for sale, call me now. And then they'll split like that. So it happens. I've had bad splits in the past. You know, usually they end up with a lot of alimony. Recording, go away, piss off. Thank you. Appreciate it. Got my shot.
Are you sure you're not playing bitchy grandpa?
That's part of the charm of my videos. And just remember, kids, the clean counter is a happy counter. There we go.
Are you sure you and my mother won't get along?
I'm not gonna comment on that. And this is also great aircraft glue, so you want to probably put some water in that.
Lily, what are you doing?
Don't make me. Don't make me do it.
So why do we have a camera taped up there?
Guys,
And when it falls in the pot, because that's masking tape?
because this is going to be an awesome camera angle, that's why.
Yes, and that's masking tape, not gaffer's tape.
I'm gonna take a chance and say this is some ingenuity on my part. We'll see how it works.
That's some redneck ingenuity right there, and we all know how well that works.
We're not gonna say the word redneck in our public videos, but yes. Yes, it is. Spray stone! Because I suck at tinfoil. There you go. This is why it's handy to have a girlfriend who cooks.
That's why it's handy not to buy tinfoil at the dollar store.
That too. That's really hot. Ow! Moving on. Now we're going to witness the mutilation of my cards.
Hey, at least I bent him back.
Fair enough. Don't do it twice. Don't do it twice. Oh my god. Don't do it twice. This is painful to watch. Oh, it's just, oh. Oh. Bend him back.
I did!
There's big origami now. Isn't she fun?